Welcome, everybody, to the October 15th, 2025 regular school committee meeting. This is our regular business meeting, and we're meeting here at the Center Elementary School. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. It's actually 5:04 p.m. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And for our regular announcement, the regular school committee meeting will be televised and recorded. It may be viewed live on Comcast Channel 22, Verizon Channel 34, or on youtube.com/Tewksbury TV. Under the open meeting law, the public is permitted to make an audio or video recording of an open session at a public meeting. At this time, I would ask, is anybody recording tonight's meeting to please identify themselves? And seeing nobody, we do have one recognition, but it's a student who had a late practice. So as soon as they arrive, if it's okay with everybody that's here, if you wouldn't mind, could we interrupt wherever we're at in our business meeting to do that recognition? Would that be okay? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So I'd like to start with Maggie Kinnan, who's our student representative. Welcome you today.
Thank you. All right, so I have a lot of updates on clubs, so just be prepared. It's rather long tonight.
Nice.
So at the end of the month, October 25th, the town's annual Fall Craft Fair Apple Fest will be hosted at TMHS. It's not only a great opportunity for the area's small businesses, but a day of TMHS clubs selling their latest gear and goods. When you enter LGI 1, you'll be greeted by a variety of the school clubs, including class councils, art club, She's a First, and international club. She's a First will be selling keychains and stickers, raising money for women's education in underdeveloped nations. The art club has spent time making homemade cards and jewelry. Interact Club is ready to sell hot chocolate kits and baked goods, while class councils will be selling their latest merch design, including the class of 2026's crew neck sweatshirts and the 2027's wide-legged sweatpants. And finally, outside of LGI 1 is where you'll find the Interact Club. Activities will include a baked goods table, face painting, and Halloween crafts, including small pumpkin decorating. All proceeds will go to Doctors Without Borders. Outside of Applefest, clubs are keeping busy. Drama is in full swing with The Sound of Music, with over 70 students preparing for their shows in late November. Best Buddies has already had 2 big events this year, a car wash in late September, and this past Friday's tailgate at the football game against Billerica. To end the month, Best Buddies and volunteers will have a spooky night on October 28th at the annual Halloween party. The math team had the privilege of hosting the first annual MML Division 4 math meet of the year after school last Thursday, October 9th, and all competitors did great. The French Club had their first meeting of the year this past month as well. Students decorated the wings of country of French-speaking worlds and made a display in the hallway. On top of the ongoing MSPCA drive, Interact Club hosted a successful car wash to benefit the organization Make Way for Chucklings, which benefits a local family who lost their father/husband to ALS last year. They had over 20 students volunteer and raised nearly $1,000. The family was thrilled and even came by to participate in the car wash. They plan to donate the proceeds to Mass General Hospital for ALS research. Next up is sports. All fall sports have had a great season. As we come to the end of many sports, have had the ability to celebrate their seniors through senior night games and matches. Volleyball had theirs on the 6th, boys soccer last night, along with golf and cross country earlier this month. Still on the calendar is the 22nd for field hockey, football and cheer on the 25th, and girls soccer ending senior nights on the 28th. All of our fall sports are looking into the postseason, hoping to end their season high in the power rankings. Topping the power rankings is our boys football team, holding strong at the 1 seed in Division 4 with a 5-week undefeated streak. Our other sports are still fighting strong in Division 3. Volleyball is at 22nd, boys soccer 18th, and girls soccer 27th. Even though most of our fall sports are thinking about playoffs, our unified basketball team is just getting started. After a close game last week, we lost by 10 to a talented Billerica squad. The team is back at it again tomorrow night at home, start time 6 o'clock sharp. Lastly, in sports, if you're available this weekend, take a trip to Wilmington to watch our girls cheer team at their debut comp of the season. And finally, miscellaneous news. On October 10th, the Fine and Performing Arts Department sponsored a trip to Harvard Art Museum in Cambridge. 70 art students participated with a day full of beautiful weather and amazing art. On top of the continued college visits to the school, this past week, the Project Lead the Way engineering class had the opportunity to visit UMass Lowell's engineering school, a great way to encourage TMHS's future engineers. Last but certainly not least is homecoming. Homecoming dance will take place on Thursday, the 23rd, from 6 to 8:30 in the TMHS Gymnasium. Tickets are $10 sold at lunches and $15 at the door. This is an event for TMH students only. It's a semi-formal event, and you'll need your student ID to enter the dance. And that's all for tonight.
Busy month.
Thank you, Maggie. Any questions or comments?
It's almost too much to keep track of. So. I'm all
Questions
set.
now?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, no, I have none. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Long, for supporting all of these things at the high school. So, thank you. I see our special guest has arrived, so I'll turn this over to you, Mrs. Terry Regan.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to welcome up Principal Andrew Long, Athletic Director Ronald Druin, and our student being recognized tonight, Cameron Goodner. Tonight, we are recognizing Tewksbury Memorial High School senior student Cameron Goodner as the MIAA Student Athlete of the Month for September 2025. Cam was selected from a number of nominations from across the state of Massachusetts. Our own athletic director, Ron Druin, nominated Cam, boasting of his long list of accomplishments, noting that as impressive as Cam is on the football and lacrosse fields and on the wrestling mat, it's his academic successes and community service that are truly tremendous. I saw that community service, Cam, attending last week's unified basketball game. Your partnership and assistance to your student peers was just amazing. I thank you for that. In addition to an honorary MIAA plaque, Cam will receive a $1,000 scholarship, and he will be honored at an upcoming MIAA broadcast. So Cam, I'm so very proud of you as a member of our school community and of our town of Tewksbury. Congratulations for this recognition, so very well deserved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Druin, Mr. Long, if you'd like to say some words about this stellar student?
I'm trying to drag we're trying to drag our feet a little. Cam's mom was at the high school. She's on her way here. So we're trying to,
So we can start
there
with
for a minute.
we can start with the school committee if you'd like.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let me also talk a little bit too about the MIAA annual, what do you call it, Mr. Druin, where we hosted at the high
Yeah,
school?
so how Cam kind of got on the radar, we hosted the District 4 annual meeting. So the MIA has 8 districts. They have annual meetings with each district, and they asked Tewksbury to host the District 4 meeting. Mom? Okay.
Excellent.
I'm a big believer, and Andy is as well, as if we're going to host it, let's host it right. Let's have a reception. Let's have a student address everybody there, kind of let them know what we're about. We chose Cam to speak. Cam did a fantastic job, and then I had a conversation with one of the MIA guys, and they suggested, have you nominated him for Student of the Month? And at that point, I filled out the application, and Cam was selected. So with that said, I could speak about athletics at the end, but I'd rather have Andy talk about his academic piece.
Again, what's your GPA? Like, I don't even want to go into GPA. Cam's just, in my 35 years of being an educator, Cam's one of the best all-around students and people. Again, to your point about his extracurriculars and stuff like that, I see him down in the guidance office a bit. He's one of the editors, right, of the Tewksbury Tribune. So he's always prying for information and trying to push his agenda a little bit, which, again, he always does it with a smile. He does it with a great intention. Couldn't pick a better person to win this award. So I'll let Ronnie talk about the athletic piece. But, again, Cam's been lucky enough to be with me for 6 straight years. I was with him 2 years at the Win and then 4 years here. So this is one of the highlights of my career in Tewksbury. Thank you.
Yeah, Cam's the whole package. He's principal list student. He's a National Honor Society student. He's captain of our lacrosse team. He's a valuable member of our wrestling team. He's a two-way starter at guard and inside linebacker on our undefeated football team. He's the president of the mock trial team. He's the captain of Best Buddies. He's an officer with DECA. He wears so many hats. He's a fantastic, well-rounded young man. He's demanding of his people and his groups, holds them accountable, which is rare for a high school student to have high expectations. And as Nick Saban said, mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people. And Cam's a high achiever, and he holds his people accountable, and he's a fantastic young man. Can't say enough good things about him. So, well-deserving. Appreciate you guys having him here. He's fantastic. Does everything. He's one of the faces of the high school, and does everything we ask and helps every group that he can. So he's a fantastic young man.
Okay, Cam, we have a resolution of recognition to read for you. Whereas Cameron Goodner was selected as the MIAA Student Athlete of the Month for September 2025. Cameron is a 3-sport varsity athlete on the football team, wrestling team, and is captain on the lacrosse team. And whereas Cameron Goodner was elected and is acting class president of the Tewksbury Memorial High School class of 2026 from 2023 to 2025. And whereas Cameron Goodner has been a member of the Best Buddies program since 2022 and is currently acting president. And whereas Cameron Goodner is the founder and editor-in-chief of the Tewksbury Tribune, and whereas Cameron Goodner was nominated by the faculty at TMHS as a peer mentor to freshman students from 2023 to 2025, and whereas Cameron Goodner completed an internship during the summer of 2025 for Massachusetts State Representative Robertson, and whereas Cameron Goodner participated in the Model United Nations from 2023 to present and acted as a captain in mock trial in 2025 to present, and whereas Cameron Goodner was acting treasurer in 2024 and acting vice president in 2025 for the DECA program, and whereas Cameron Goodner participated in community service for the TMHS Parent Advisory Council and the Personal Finance Fair, and whereas Cameron Goodner is a member of the National Honor Society and is on the principals list.
We almost needed 2 pages here.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tewksbury School Committee applauds, honors, and recognizes the many achievements of Cameron Goodner.
Congratulations.
So well deserved.
Thank you. And congratulations.
Congratulations. Keep it up.
And it was so nice of you guys to come in. I'm sorry that we started just a little bit without you. But if you'd like to come up and have a photo with, the athletic director and the principal with Cam.
Plus, it's recorded. You can rewatch it over and over.
Yeah. It was just a little bit, so it wasn't too much. Congratulations,
Over
Cam.
here, Jason.
We'll see you.
Feel better.
Sorry.
All set, Jason?
Oh, sorry.
Wait a minute, Mr. Druin.
get
You
in
need
there.
to get in that photo, please. Please, yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at more of these events throughout the year.
Thank you.
Yes.
Real quick before I leave, I know this is about Goody tonight, but I would be remiss if I didn't recognize our golf team. Golf team qualified for the All-State tournament today, coming in second in the Division III North Sectional. First time we've had a team qualify for the All-States in golf in over 20 years. So tip of the hat to the golf team today. Thank you.
Congratulations to the golf team. It's exciting.
Should have been a golfer.
All right, and next we have a presentation.
Is there a presentation now?
Which you'll be excited about.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm not sure if you knew this, but this week is National School Lunch Week. Our Food and Nutrition Services Director, Ms. Deborah Mudford, and her Assistant Director, Kate Leno, are going to share with you some of the many exciting things happening in our cafeterias and kitchens this month.
Sorry, sometimes my finger doesn't work on the keypad. I don't know why. Brendan says I have issues. Well, thank you. And let me just say, that was a wow of a wow of a wow. I can't even imagine how those parents are feeling right now. It's amazing. I want to be really quick, and I want to say thank you for inviting Food Nutrition Services here. We're really excited because, as you know, as Superintendent Regan just said, that it's a National School Lunch Week, but that's not all that there is. There's a lot going on that we're very, very, very proud of. So I just have this little infographic up here that I just figured we'd go through real quickly. So one of our goals this year was engagement, and it's engagement with the students, it's engagement with the faculty, and it's engagement with the staff. So anyhow, we started off in the month of September, which is Food Safety Week, Food Safety Month. So we did some things with the kids. We sent them home with some information, some coloring pages. Parents got involved. The teachers got involved. We posted them throughout the kitchens at the little, the little guys. So we started off there. Then we went to the hydroponic farming in action, where we had Casey White, who was the dietitian, visit the 9th grade class to talk a little bit about that. That's only the start of it. We have a whole schedule of things that we want to do, hopefully kind of coinciding with some of the wellness initiatives as well. So that's kind of the thing that we're trying to work on the schedule now. So our goal is to continue being in the classroom. We continue to educate nutrition on the serving line and off the serving line. And then we talk about National School Lunch Week. We did a lot of things. This is an exciting thing. And I have to say that I'm so excited because the teachers were thrilled about this. When it was distributed throughout the schools, some of the teachers inside of, in their teachers' lounge, going through the mailboxes, they're like, wow, we're really excited about this. So what we're doing is, it's National School Lunch Week. We're trying to introduce kids to global flavors, and also provide them a little bit of fact, whether it's about the culture or the nutrition of the recipe itself. Yesterday was a great success. Of course, it was Japanese teriyaki and rice bowl. Today wasn't so great, but that's how you live and learn. But we're still introducing kids. It was Greek. Some kids don't like feta, whatever. But anyhow, that's how you learn. Tomorrow is the Korean beef bulgogi, which we know the kids like. So we try to give a little bit of that. So with that being said, it's a nationwide thing with the National School Lunch Week, where it's your, passport too. So each of the elementary kids received a little passport with stickers in every classroom. All the teachers that are participating are, if the kids have it, they get a sticker for each day that they tried one of these school meals. At the end of the week, we put their names in a raffle. And then one of the students at each of the elementary schools is going to win something pertaining to our world. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited from the principals and the faculty, how excited they are to work alongside with us. So see, we believe, we're here to feed the kids, but that's not all food services does. So then we move on to the Junior Kitchen Explorer program. We're really excited about this. What we're going to do with our own little field trip, we're working with the food play people. We're going to do it in January. That's our goal. And it's going to start at the Heathbrook and the Dewing. Then we'll move on to the center. And then when we're at a wellness meeting, Victoria said, I even think the middle school kids. So we're going to try to adapt it to meet that, that audience as well. So they're going to go into the kitchens. They're going to learn about the food safety. They're going to learn about the nutrition. They're going to learn about the school meals. And then for the little guys, we have our certificate of Junior Explorers. They're going to wear their aprons. They're going to do all kinds of things. So it's going to kind of get them well-rounded about the whole program. So we're really excited about that, and that's in January. And of course, Pizza with a Twist is simply because so many kids were tired of just plain cheese pizza. So we're doing a margherita pizza Friday. We're going to be doing, buffalo chicken, things we do with the high school. We're going to extend to the little guys because now the little guys are asking for it. Adopt a Cow program. We're really excited about this. So we're working with the dairy farmers. We have a dairy farmer in Vermont, and we have a dairy farmer in New Hampshire. We're starting with the Heathbrook and the Dewing. The principals are all on board. The teachers are all on board. It's really exciting. So we don't know which one's Sunflower. We don't know which one's Amelia yet. But we do have a Jersey and a Holstein. We don't know who's who yet. It's kind of like a suspense thing. They're like, we'll send you the information. We'll see, on this day you're going to get this. We just found out who the farmers were today. So we're going to be working with that, learning about, agriculture, learning where our food comes from, working with the kids. We're going to have it in the cafeteria, and also so many classrooms are going to be doing it as well. And the kids are going to journal. The classroom's going to have one of these guys. So it's working with the Dairy Council. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be a fun thing. And I'll tell you, the managers at the schools, they're owning it. So Julie Naughton and Lisa Bevilacqua, they're owning it, and they're so excited. They already have things posted. It's pretty exciting. And, we have a lot of things going on that aren't even on here. I could go on forever. You guys that know me know I could. But we will continue to have our taste tests every month, introducing new product, staying with the harvest of the month. This month it's pears, so we follow the Massachusetts harvest of the month, and we try to get local wherever we can, obviously. We're doing the pear chips, the pear spinach salad, of course, fresh pears, and then the kids' favorite was the pear apple cake that we'll be doing. So every month we try to promote something like that. And of course, we're doing our ethnic recipes, our speed scratch cooking. We're going to continue to do all those wonderful things that food services does. So we're here, these are all some of the highlights, and there's more to come, trust me. But we're here really to feature our composting program. And so with that being said, I am going to turn it over to Caitlin New, who is the Operations Supervisor for Food Nutrition Services, who implemented this and has really taken a hold on it and is really excited about it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deb. I'm really excited to be here today. I'm Caitlin New. I'm the Operations Supervisor for Tewksbury Public Schools Food Nutrition Services. I'd like to start by saying I'm really excited and thankful and proud of all the work that our team does every day. Not only do they put a lot of work into what they do, but they really care about this composting program. And this is a huge learning curve. It's a positive learning curve for me, because prior to this, I had no idea about composting, how it was done, or anything. So I've learned a lot, and I'm continuing to learn each and every day and continue to look forward to it. I'd like to share with you a couple highlights that we have of our program and what the kitchen does behind the scenes to make this happen all the time. It's really important to give back and to make sure that we are giving, that our environment is having an impact, and we're an impact on that as well. So I like to share in the last 2 years, we started our composting program. We've collaborated with Black Earth Compost, and they've been absolutely phenomenal for us and a great resource for us as well. So we're committed to the sustainability, and we would love to be able to do a lot more, as I'm sure everybody wishes they could do. Each and every day we learn and we grow with this. So, before we're able to compost, we did set up a standard operating procedure to make sure that we meet the protocols that are needed for it, and that our staff is well trained and comfortable with what they're doing. It's really important that, to me at least, that they feel really comfortable, because this is what they do, and they should take pride every day, which I truly feel they do. As you can see here, this is just a compost life cycle. It's a basic compost life cycle that most people utilize, and this is what we utilize within the district. Behind the scenes, this is just a little cycle for you to see the behind the scenes and what we do and who we work with to do this. So what we do is, the first step is we take all of the scraps, the leftovers from the whole fruits, the vegetables, pretty much any food is acceptable on this. It's really hard to say sometimes on what is acceptable, because there's seals, there's logos that certain companies only take. I'm still learning a lot about it too. So as we continue to grow, hopefully this program might grow. Who knows? But after the scraps, we take them and we put them in the compost bin. We have 1 to 2 compost bins posted on all the loading docks for all 6 of our schools. And after it's put in there weekly, Black Earth will come and pick up our compost bins, and they'll bring it to their compost grounds to turn it into the fertilizer that we're able to put into the ground for the gardens to grow rich and nutritious foods that end up on our plates at our house, at our schools, everywhere we go, right? So this is just kind of a little visual for you to be able to see how we implement it from the basic life cycles. Again, the whole fruits, the vegetables, all the food products that go into the scraps, the composting, which turns into the fertilizer and help grow. And then it's a cycle that starts all over again. A couple of facts. We have a portal with Black Earth that I found very interesting. Since we began this program 2 years ago, the total estimated weight diverted was 53,280 pounds just from Tewksbury schools. So I'm very proud to say this. Again, this is a back of the house program that we're utilizing right now. So I think it's amazing that we're able to do this for the environment in general. Gallons of gas avoided was approximately 2,293 gallons of gas. The seedlings were able to be planted because of this has been about 6,989 seedlings as well. The miles driven offset has been about 53,029. Again, these are just some of the cool facts that I found out about this, and I'm really enjoying learning more each and every day. Coming up for a professional development, we are going to be able to go on a field trip to Black Earth Compost grounds, and I believe it's in Manchester by the Sea. Our staff is enthusiastic about it, excited. They want to learn more, and I actually know a bunch of our staff members that we have started composting at their own house. And I find that pretty cool because, again, not only are we making an impact here at school, but they're able to do the same thing at the house to add to the impact that we're making for our environment. I'm really proud to be able to say that we are doing this. We've implemented it. It's going phenomenal. To the staff, their comments to us is it's easy. It's what they do every day anyways, because if not, they're getting rid of the product. Why not put it back into something usable for the environment? So I'm really proud to be able to say this. I'm excited. Again, it's a learning curve. So when we go to this composting ground, I am excited to learn more about the company that we're working with as well. And it's more than just the compost. It's the connection, right? Our job, we feed the kids, right? That's what we do. But it's between our kitchens, our community, and the kids we feed. Again, it's an amazing program that I wish I could let everybody know and I could get the information to everybody because it's so simple, it's easy, and we're proud to say that we do it because we made such a great impact on the environment. I got for you. Any questions?
No, that's great. Thank you. Any questions for anyone?
I have a question. Is there anything that you're sending home with the kids on? Because that impact slide was really good. Like just to see the amount of impact that you've had here in the schools. Is there maybe we could send that home with, how to get started with composting and connect that to the kids in their home life?
So I'm actually really glad that you asked that question because recently there's been an email and it was just currently, so I'm in the process of kind of going through it and figuring out what to do or how to go about it. But there is an email that Black Earth has sent out and it's to help impact our community. So there's actually a flyer that potentially we could send out to home and community. And if you begin to compost at home, there's a QR code and that QR code will also allow them to give us money back into our program for the composting. So say, for example, at the Center Elementary School, if we have 10 parents that begin composting and they scan that QR code from us, then we'd get $10 to the compost program as a credit for us.
Yeah.
So that's a way that we can go about that. I'd be more than happy to share that slide and that information. And it continues to get better each week. So I'd love to continue to share that. And if anybody would like that information, I'd be glad to.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Just the one, did you say that there was no cost to this then to us, this program?
You know what? I don't have all of that information right now. Deb kind of goes more with that aspect, so I'm sure that she could speak a little bit on that. I think there is probably a cost, but I don't want to give you information that I don't have the accurate answer for you.
So there is a monthly fee on that.
I think it's important to note that that's also pounds and waste not going into trash.
Sure.
So I think it was, a little bit over 2 years ago, we had talked about this because other school districts are obviously doing this. I want to make mention that not only has the Food Nutrition Services picked up with composting at every school, we're also reducing other types of waste like foam products, plastic products. So it really is a commitment to the earth into how we throw a lot away at our schools, but we need to be more mindful of where it goes and what it's used for. So I want to commend the team, because when the challenge was handed over, I think there was a lot of fear that this was going to cause a lot of extra work. And how would we do that? Where would we store it? But, you know, we've managed to do it successfully, and I'm so happy to hear the enthusiasm. You know, thank you to Kate and Deb.
Thank you.
But we're happy to share that QR code in our district newsletter if you feel that we should, and why not? As well as, you know, this presentation is certainly the summary.
Anything else, Mr. Bianco-Smith?
They answered two of my questions on, you know, was it happening at all schools? And then also I had a question about cost as well, but what about policy? Is that something that we would have to look at in terms of our policy on composting or recycling and massive? Okay.
I don't
Board of Health or anything like that with all the different bins being around?
I don't
curious.
have that answer right now, but I'd be glad to look into it to figure out more of what is needed or if that's needed.
Okay. Yeah, that was all I had on that one. I actually have some other questions. Are we open to additional questions to everybody, or just on compost?
Yeah, I did have one more
Yeah.
compost before we move on.
Yeah.
It's kind of tied to composting.
Yeah.
I think as we're talking about the reduced recycling, could you speak just a little bit about just one other initiative, I think, that I mentioned to Ms. Mugford at the beginning? I noticed a big difference from my oldest child to my youngest child in terms of just the waste management with trays. Like, we had all styrofoam we were talking about when my oldest child came here. Now it seems like all of the washrooms, for the most part, whatever washrooms are available, seem to be up and running. And that effort seems to be kind of in full force as much as possible. Could you just speak a little bit to the efforts?
Yeah. Again, this is now going on my 4th year here. And since I've been here, I will say that I have seen a change, right? So we've kind of grown. It's already was happening prior to me, so I can't speak fully on it. But I can say that since I've been here, we have gravitated more to using all reusable trays where we can. It's not accessible at all schools, unfortunately, just because of logistics and where the washrooms are and such things like that. But we do try to maintain that we use reusable trays anytime we can to help minimize the reduce of waste and recycling.
Yeah, so anyway, I want to commend you on that, because I don't think I'd seen the Heathbrook washroom running since I was in the elementary school, so thank you. Yes.
I have to put out there too that thanks to the administration that have really supported us, because
Yes.
kind of a few years ago, we, like some people said, we were talking about it. So getting the support, and when you get the support from the administration, you kind of get less resistance from everybody else. So we have to say that the school support as well.
It's fine. So anyway, thank you for your efforts on that, because it's been noticed, at least by me. So thank you. Ms. Bianco-Smith.
Thank you. So my first question was on the Junior Kitchen Explorer. You said January. Is that something that would take place, the hands-on activity, during school, during lunch, after school? Is it a sign-up type of thing?
What we're anticipating, we still have to speak with the principals on it, but what we're anticipating is there will be something in the morning. So we're hoping to, we'd like to involve all the classes that, say maybe doing the first 2 weeks, trying to get all the classes involved in the morning, because we have to remember that we have to set up places for the school meal. So that's kind of a logistical thing we're going to look up the administration. We don't have a say answer to that. We just tell them it's decided, it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. What's easiest for them.
Okay. So the next one's on the cows.
Okay.
So I'm just curious on, what else, obviously there's the learning aspect, adopting the cow, learning what happens with the cow and what they do and all that stuff. What's the cost around that program? Is it,
It's a free program.
it's a free program?
It's a free program that we partner with Discover Dairy for, and they give us all the information. Like she said, it kind of trickles out, so it kind of builds up suspense for the staff and the kids. It's a free program to learn more about dairy, nutritious foods, and then to learn about, a cow, the farms, agriculture, things like that. It's fun, and I think it's a great initiative.
Did I see there was a field trip for that on the board thing?
We would hope. That would be
March?
great.
Oh, yeah. And then my last question while you're here is more of a general. It's not anything presented today. It's really about the high school. I know one of the last times that we met, Deb, we had talked about opportunities for after-school food for the high school students. Do you know if anything has come of that, or if students have been surveyed?
Because I was at a wellness advocacy, in Jesse and John Stalker, we talked about it. And there's so many things in compliance that we have to do. It's not like we can say, okay, here's what we're going to serve at the school because it's coming from the kitchen, we still have to be in compliance. So Kate and Casey and I have been talking about it. I mean, we've tried it twice, didn't work, so now we're trying to figure out, okay, let's think outside the box. So, at this point, it's something that, again, our feelers out, we're trying to brainstorm in order to meet compliance.
Yeah. Have you met with like the student council or any of those student groups, or maybe any of the representatives from the,
We're trying to implement it.
Yeah.
And, a couple of the athletic
yeah.
kids were interested too. There's a lot of logistics that because we are a federally funded subsidized program, we have a lot of rules and regulations that we have to comply to. And I know that some of it may seem silly to some people, but we have to comply to certain regs. So we're just making sure that we're going to meet all those regs. And I have, I've spoken to a couple of people at, in fact, I think a couple of years ago when we did wellness. I can't serve certain things because the kids want them. It's not like it doesn't need to be on the track. We have to price it differently. We can't price it on the student.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that honestly we're looking into it. We're trying to think outside of the box how it could possibly.
I'm looking at maybe other schools in the area and see if there's any.
A lot of schools that do it. A lot of them have this.
Wow.
Okay. Again, there's a lot of different things that go into it. And then trying to maintain the price so that it's reasonable for the kids. That's difficult too because we have to comply with the standards of increasing the price of our packets.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of things.
Like anything is cheaper than DoorDash these days, so.
We don't know. We think we kind of thought about something. We have to go back and revisit it. And I have to make sure that we comply with it.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to add on to that, my daughter's at the high school and she's playing sports, and I feel like every day it's a request for DoorDash to get food. So it would be really nice to give them some kind of healthy option so that they didn't have to, because that's what all of them are doing. They're just.
I have to be honest with you, we did it twice. And Kate, you did it one year.
I did.
Mrs. Sullivan did it one year. It seems like the kids like the DoorDash.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to do was maybe immediately following the school bell,
Yeah.
We're trying to think outside.
Okay.
Because what we did surely did not work.
Okay, good, good.
We were able to meet with some students then to kind of find out things that they would like to see and what we were able to put, and we were able to give them what they requested for the most part, as long as it was okay with the school programs that we have as well, the lunch programs. And we didn't see too many customers, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm all set. Thank you, Bridget. Any more questions?
I'm all set.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in, and appreciate it so much. I look forward to some of these programs, and yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and moving on to our next is, Well, on to our next, our reports for Mrs. Terry Regan. We'll start with our superintendent report, please. Is that where I am?
I think the minutes.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
Happy to go?
I'm sorry, I'm double-sided on my agenda. Moving us right along. Citizens Forum, is there anybody here to speak? Okay, and seeing nobody. All right, next is our approval of minutes. Start, Mr. Cutlass, I did not mention in the beginning, is not with us here tonight, so we are a membership of 4. So Mrs. Biagioni Smith will stand in for him tonight.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from September 17th, 2025 for a regular business meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, and that passes.
All right.
And submission payment of bills, please.
Sure. I'd like to move the school department payroll be approved and certified in the amounts and categories as shown for a total amount of $1,697,014.43 for September 25th, 2025.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Biagioni Smith, a second by Mr. Moncada to approve and certify the payroll period ending September 25th, 2025, total amount of $1,697,014.43. Mr. Moncada, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Anderson?
Aye.
And Mrs. Biagioni Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well for a unanimous vote.
All right, Madam Chair, I'd like to move the school department payroll period ending October 9th, 2025 be approved and certified in the amounts and categories as shown for a total amount of $1,714,570.84.
Second.
All right, and that again is a motion by Mrs. Biagioni Smith, a second by Mr. Moncada, approve and certify the payroll period ending October 9th, 2025, total amount of $1,714,570.84. In roll call vote, Mr. Moncada, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Anderson?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagioni Smith?
Aye.
And again, unanimous vote. All right, that brings us to Mrs. Terry Regan for your update, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to begin my updates with a huge congratulations to the Wynn Middle School. We're congratulating our Wynn Middle School as they have been recognized as a school of recognition. They are one of only 61 schools in the whole state of Massachusetts and just one of 6 middle schools. As part of its annual accountability reporting process, DESE identifies schools of recognition who either demonstrate high achievement, significant growth, or who consistently meet or exceed accountability targets with an emphasis on improved achievement in ELA and math. Certainly, we're seeing the hard work of our students, the dedication of our teachers and staff, and the commitment and focus on our district priority learning goals and new learning resources paying off in the MCAS growth amongst our WIN students. Dr. Milligan will share a more comprehensive MCAS accountability review to you in November. Well, October 6th was National Coaches Day, a day to honor and recognize our athletic and academic coaches for their leadership, mentoring, and positive impact they have on athletes, students, and peers, both on and off the field and in the learning environment. We thank all of them for their dedication to the Tewksbury Public Schools. One of our amazing Tewksbury Memorial High School coaches certainly does just that on the field and in the classroom. That is Brian Elwood, our Tewksbury Memorial High School history teacher, department lead, football coach, and Best Buddies advisor. He was named the New England Patriots Coach of the Week on September 30th, and the NFL Hall of Fame linebacker after Mr. Elwood's astounding 200th win against Lowell on Friday, September 26th. Mr. Andre Tippett personally visited our Tewksbury Memorial High School to honor Brian. He said, quote, "Brian Elwood's 200th win is a milestone that reflects not only his skill as a coach, but his impact as a leader and mentor. I've always admired the way he builds young men of character while consistently putting a competitive, disciplined team on the field. This achievement is an inspiration to players, coaches, and the entire Tewksbury community. I'm proud to congratulate him on reaching this incredible mark. I must add, although not in my notes, I remembered that Andre Tippett had visited our school once before, in 2013, the year that we opened the high school, and I asked him, I remember you were here. Who were you honoring? He said it was Brian Elwood. So this is Brian Elwood's second honor from New England Patriots Hall of Famer, Mr. Andre Tippett, and the Patriots Coach of the Week. We're so proud of Brian, how he represents our town as a teacher, a coach, and contributing community leader and role model as well. Well, we have many heroes in our school buildings as well. October is designated as National Principals Month to honor the contribution of school principals across the United States. This month-long celebration acknowledges our principals for their leadership in various roles, including instructional leadership, administrative work, and community engagement. We certainly encourage the Tewksbury Public Schools community to send a note or just words of gratitude to their hardworking principals. So speaking of principals, I want to give a shout out to one, and I hope she's watching, to one of our own retired principals, Miss Judy McGinnis. She started the school year, when we started the school year down, a 7th grade special educator at the Wynn, and Ms. McGinnis stepped into right into the role to substitute teach. Many people may not know that Judy is a highly gifted teacher, and while she clearly failed at her first school year in retirement, thankfully her talents were put to good use as our special ed teacher, successfully serving our students. And we're truly appreciative of her stepping in, but this is her last week with us, and we wish her well. Our LEAP lunches are once again available to the Tewksbury Memorial High School, the Ryan, and the Center school staff on Fridays. Students of our 18 to 20-year-old special education LEAP program take all the orders. I share and show you just a example of the order form that goes throughout our schools, those 3 schools. Our students then compile a list of all the orders. They shop for all of the ingredients and materials needed. They set the budget, prepare all the orders, and then deliver these amazing lunches to the staff in the schools I listed as part of their vocational skill building and community access. Our students have even grown some of their own produce as well. This vocational learning program is an amazing accomplishment for our students at our Tewksbury Memorial High School, and they're an amazing accomplishment, and we so appreciate their supervising staff, Mr. Patrick Galligan, Ms. Melanie Terabasi, and Ms. Christine Eidman. On Friday, October 3rd, Ms. Biagioni Smith and Ms. Anderson attended a tour of our Alpha Best after-school program here at the Center School. They observed about 80 of our Center School and Ryan School Friday afternoon students transitioning from dismissal into 4 separate check-in areas and attendance areas. Then they rotated through different stations. For example, this day we had a STEM expedition curriculum rotation, exercise and play on the playground and or in the gym, and then snack and community time right here in the cafeteria. The area and regional directors met with us as well, and then they helped answer some of the many questions you, the committee, had for them. Thank you for preparing those questions for us, Mrs. Caliendo. Some of the questions really revolved around registrations, wait lists, staffing, and ways to grow the program. We explored some perks that may be of interest. For example, we didn't realize that Tewksbury Public Schools staff members receive a significant discount for their own Tewksbury Public Schools students if they want them to attend Alpha Best before or after school. And then we learned more about the potential of our Tewksbury Public Schools teenagers participating as staff, and then our older students as a paid position. And then certainly updates on new staff already in the pipeline. Based on the licensing requirements, right now, we have a capacity of 104 students at any given time here at the Center Elementary School. That includes our Ryan group, 72 students at the Dewing, and approximately 50 at the Heathbrook. We're running at capacity at any given time, 104 afternoon students here at Center, 60-ish at the Dewing, and we have hit the 50 mark at the Heathbrook. Our AM numbers are much lower, but our afternoon numbers, especially here, are at capacity. Again, we talked about ways in which they're engaging additional staff members. So something else that they shared with us that was of great information and value is Alpha Best does do a customer satisfaction survey and received a 78% to 90% on average satisfaction rate in the areas of staff quality, homework help, program quality and activities, and communication. 90% said they would recommend Alpha Best to their neighbors. So this year they have also implemented an immediate feedback tool, so they're getting regular feedback versus the twice-a-year survey. As you already noted in our last meeting, the wait list and availability of spots were comments of greatest concern for parents. So the observation Q&A session I thought was very helpful, in my opinion. I certainly welcome comments and observation from our members that also attended. Don't know if you'd like to take that now, Madam Chair, if you'd like to wait till I finish my updates.
I think we could just go through updates. and
Okay.
Circle back. I'm fine with that.
Let's talk about Town Halloween. This is an amazing event that's happening this Sunday, October 19th. It's the town's second annual Halloween celebration. It is occurring from 1 to 4 p.m., spanning from the police station and fire station's haunted house and Halloween game activities to the town hall's DJ, food trucks, pumpkin carving, and so much more. And then to the front of the Ryan and Center Elementary campus with a trunk or treat event. Our school PACs are contributing to this event, and we're happy to partner with the whole town to make this an amazing event, a great day for all. Our town planner, Alex Lauder, and Tewksbury Police Department Officer Jacob Saad, the event planners, probably would rather me not say this out loud, but the weather is looking really great for Sunday, and we expect the day to go off outside as planned. In the event of very inclement weather, the event will happen inside at the Tewksbury Memorial High School. But for now, for anybody watching, this Sunday's Halloween is from 1 to 4 p.m., as I said, throughout different areas of the town commons up to the Center Elementary School. Speaking of PACs, and Maggie has already shared this, our Tewksbury Memorial High School Craft Fair will be occurring on Saturday, October 25th, so in 2 weekends from now, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the high school. This is an entire community event where people can come in to do some holiday shopping, which raise funds for the Tewksbury Memorial High School scholarships and for our all-night-long graduation event for seniors. Townwide PAC we will host our first annual townwide PAC meeting of all of our PAC leads and principals on Monday, October 20th. Our agenda includes reviewing the policies pertaining to the PACs and booster clubs. We will review fundraising events and other topics pertaining to the good work our PACs do to support our students and schools. And then in your consent agenda, there's a very generous donation being made to the Tewksbury Memorial High School Robotics Club in the amount of $3,500 from Tokyo Electron. With your affirmative approval of the consent agenda, we can accept these granted funds for our team. And then finally, I want to end my updates with thanking the town of Tewksbury for their support to our schools, specifically to the town manager, John Curran, the Tewksbury Community Preservation Committee, and to the Tewksbury residents for approving funds in accordance with the Community Preservation Act in the sum of $22,000 to rehabilitate the varsity infield at Strong Field, Tewksbury Memorial High School, last week at the special town meeting. The work began the very next day and is already finished. So I also want to recognize Mr. Druin's initiative in bringing this request to our town. We will post some pictures of the new sod and improvements made to Strong Field in this week's district newsletter. And that concludes my updates, Madam Chair.
Great, thank you. All right, questions or comments on anything general that's not AlphaBest? We'll start there.
I think most of my questions will be on AlphaBest.
Okay. I'm fine. Any non-AlphaBest questions? No. No, thank you very much. Again, congratulations to Brian Aylward, and also thank you to the Community Preservation and to the town of Tewksbury for their generous support of that strong field. I think a question that came up at the Finance Committee that I think is important to also mention at our committee was the question of the accessibility of that field as a community resource. And it was reiterated that that is a community resource, and it's
a process, right?
Right, it's just, you have to go through the process to actually reserve the space. You just can't, access it quite as easily as you can, say, a field at Livingston. But I think it's important for the community to know that that is a community resource, and if people are interested, to reach out to the athletic department or to the central office. So again, thank you to Tewksbury. So I'll open up to AlphaBest conversation, and we'll start with maybe the members who visited AlphaBest. Do you guys have comments that you want to add?
Yeah, I can start.
Thank you for visiting.
Yes, no, it was really good. It was a good visit. I think they brought in their director who was out of state, so they were really taking the ask to visit seriously. They did prepare answers to a ton of our questions. liked Mrs. Terry O'Regan talked about, we talked a lot about the wait list and different creative ways that we could potentially mitigate some of the issues with how big the wait lists are, figuring out how different ways to attract different staff that we just went through. So I think that was the biggest thing that came out of it for me. The other thing that I wanted to just mention, there's a lot of interactive activities that they do. You know, when I went to school, it was just kind of babysitting just until your parents got there. But they do have I think it's like every 30, 45 minutes, they do have the kids moving to a different station, whether that's exercising and getting their energy out outside or going into a different activity, educational activity in one of the other classrooms. So I think that they do a good job of making it fun and exciting and different for the kids. So I was happy to see that too. That's all I had.
Yeah, I'll echo a lot of what Katie said too. The one thing I had heard, Ms. Regan heard you say was about the staff members. Maybe I misheard you, but just if they are willing to work in the program, they have a significant
Correct.
cost reduction, significant, like almost nothing
That's
to
right.
bring their student. I didn't hear if you said the whole part there, but yeah, that I found that to be such an incredible opportunity, whether it's someone who's looking for, we have lunch staff or people who are working part-time hours, subs, whatever it might be. It's such a great opportunity to get a few more hours in and you can bring your kiddo with you. And for the student opportunity, was it 16 years old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of our students who are in those early childhood development programs on that path to education, whatever it might be. So I know I mentioned it to my daughter who's interested in that field. That's a great opportunity to look for in the future. You know, finding jobs is tough at 16.
Yes.
And this is a great opportunity there. The only other thing that I took away from it was, I think there was a small number of Ryan students, 15 or so, and I was hoping that maybe there's some brainstorming opportunity to think of ways to maybe better engage those older students.
Right.
That would then open up some spots for younger students, but that was just one of the spots that, you know, I was looking at while we were sitting there that, you know, that might be a possibility, especially on a campus. Where if a parent is picking up one, they're staying because they have a sibling, maybe there's a better opportunity for those older kids versus taking up a spot in the program. But yeah, I think they did do a great job. We had a lot of questions. We had 4 pages, front and back of questions for them. But yeah, happy to engage with anybody else who had any more questions.
Yeah,
Reach out.
one more thing I forgot to mention too. Something that we were getting some feedback from the community was just their lack of response when people are on wait lists. And so what we had asked them to do was, even if you don't have a spot for them yet, just reach out to them and let them know that they're still on the wait list and there's, you know, still an opportunity, and they'll reach out as soon as they have an opening. So that was something that we had hoped that they are implementing in their process now.
Yeah, and we learned that the people who already have spots have a first dibs, if you
Yeah.
will, when it opens back up.
That was
to
the other
keep, you know, keep the families so that they can rely on it. So we did it. I mean, it was very informative. I learned a lot as well, and I think there's a lot to think forward as to how we because there is a EEC ratio that they have to comply with, so we can't just fill seats. We do have to have a staffing ratio based on our license, and our license, as I told you, has a capacity right now, but they have applied for expanding that capacity at the older grades. But, you know, obviously parents need the after-school care more now as we've hit 2025 than they did back in, you know, when we first started the program. After the pandemic, it was lower, and it's increasing. So we're always looking to explore ways to do that. But also, it's a lot of bodies. You saw the transition of dismissal with 800 plus students, managing the 4 different groups. I'd love, and I know a follow-up will be for you to come and see the morning, which is much more calm. And that's a nice time that the multiple age groups from Ryan in here integrate. They help each other. It's a really nice time of the morning. Makes you feel really good. But it is very busy here in the afternoon. Very, very busy. And they, you know, do a great job keeping kids safe and having a really tight check-in and out program. You know, using the technology. So it was good for all of us to see.
Mr. Moncada, do you have any questions, or?
Well, yeah, too, the questions that we posed to them, did they give us like written responses?
No, we really took notes to
Okay.
them, and that was the highlight, but I'm happy to give you.
Yeah, because I don't think I saw that, so that would be good. With regard to capacity, is that,
Oh, I'm sorry, you know what? Actually, there are some
Yeah.
answers that you can look at.
Okay.
that they
okay,
shared.
yeah, because I did have questions that I was hoping for answers to, so. With regards to capacity, is that based on our facilities or what they can provide?
Licensing.
So
They're licensed.
their licensing?
Yes.
Okay. And you said they're actively looking to increase that?
And I think that's what will happen here by 26, with the bringing on board the 2 new staff members. They can increase their
Okay.
license.
Yeah, so they have to
15?
1 to 115, but they have to bring the staff on and prove that they have the staff before
Yes.
they can go for a license to add more
Sure, okay.
children.
And one of the reasons we chose this provider is they also put the staff through extensive training before they bring them on board.
Sure.
And we want that, right?
And, well, so going back on that then, with regard to our facilities, have we looked at our facilities to make sure we can certainly increase our capacity in that regard?
And it's not like the regular school day where there's 25 students in every class, right? It wouldn't be as high quality an after-school care program, but I will share with you, our principal and assistant principal do have some concerns with what should be the capacity in this building when school closes, because, there are multiple things happening as well, utilizing class space. I mean, even this right here, us having these meetings when the programs are running, we're taking their spot, so we have to be cognizant of how big can it grow and still function after school things otherwise.
Okay.
So we did speak about that. I think the principal would want to know if we were looking to he would want input prior to us growing any more than those 2 new staff members.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll just wait to see the responses or whatever.
And I don't know if I mentioned, we didn't look at the younger students, but when you think about 60 receiving after-school care in the afternoon at the Dewing and 50 at the Heathbrook, that's not the all AM places too. It's a lot of students having after-school care. And again, the bigger that grows, they're very young, so they not only need space, but it is a staffing issue even greater there.
I'm good, thank you.
So to continue on with where Mr. Moncada was at, and to tie in a little bit here with what Kayla is saying about the Ryan students, is there potential for the program to expand into the Ryan with those older students at the Ryan and potentially take some of the older, maybe more mature 4th graders over to the Ryan space?
We didn't discuss that, but that's certainly something we could discuss. I mean, the ratio, you have less need at the Ryan. In some of the students I talk to in the morning, and because I come over here, periodically and chit chat with them, some have only known Alpha-Best, right? So they stay with it at the Ryan because this is what they've done since they've been in preschool or kindergarten. But we just have less demand with the older students and almost no demand anymore at the Wynn, so it had to get canceled there. But I think that's something worth exploring. Maybe we can look at 4th, 5th, and 6th as that transition, and then 2nd and 3rd here, but let me ask.
I think, I don't know where everybody's thinking is at, but certainly where we have the number of buildings that we have, if Alpha-Best has the ability to expand, if EEC is willing to meet Alpha-Best where they're at, Alpha-Best is willing to expand to meet the needs of the community, I don't see any reason why Alpha-Best could not try to accommodate the needs of the community. And so when we see 56, 65 people on a wait list, that to me, it's a big number. So when we say, 5 or 10 people on a wait list, well, that, you kind of think, well, that's, negligible. But 65, feels like that's a program that needs to expand. And we need to figure out a way that, how do we support that? If it's building space, is it staffing? So that's why I think this was a great exercise in terms of exploring some of those questions with AlphaBest. You know, certainly, I think the community does need to understand that AlphaBest is not the school system. You know, that you don't have oversight over how AlphaBest works, but they are a partner in some ways to the school system in meeting the needs of what students and families need. So that is our job, to try to help support them when there are these big gaps. So thank you so much for really stepping into this and not away from it, and doing what you can to work with that. I think, you know, the families that have reached out to us, giving them as much information as we can is always helpful. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have any more questions than, you know, kind of what you guys have done. I think if you think it's important for us to see the morning, you know, as the year goes on, let us know. And if there's anything we can do as a committee to support you in supporting AlphaBest, let us know.
Thank you.
But this was a big ask for you, so thank you. Everybody good? Okay. And, one other question. The satisfaction survey, you said that's implemented immediate feedback tool. How does that work?
I don't know. I do you remember? We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, they are issued in the fall. The surveys are, hold on a sec. I wrote the answer to that.
There's a fall and spring survey. However, they talked about
I wrote my answers.
and this is how we really got on the conversation about feedback on the wait list too.
Yeah.
If they're going to implement immediate feedback when a parent's reaching out, then how about upping the communication on the wait list, just so people are informed and they receive that information really well, or that suggestion. I don't know if they've done that yet, but it says students are surveyed informally to gauge their interest in the enrichment topics as well. More formal student evaluations will be conducted throughout the year through our AB Studios curriculum app, and it will provide feedback. So this was really about some of the satisfaction survey, but I don't really know how the immediate feedback tool works, but we can find out.
Okay. And one final thought on that before I move on. Could we do some sort of our own feedback from families before we consider?
Our new, I think we're going out for proposals again this year, so that would be something that might be worthwhile. Mr. Libby, before we do the request for proposals?
Yeah.
So whatever, you know, if you can kind of like think back time frame, whatever you think is appropriate there.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome. Right. Dr. Milligan.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Yesterday, a group of Tewksbury Memorial High School juniors and seniors participated in an engineering immersion tour at UMass Lowell, accompanied by the STEM Pathways Coordinator, Mary Jo Kelleher, and our technology coaches, Alan McLeod and Stacey Mulholland. Students toured several engineering labs, including plastics, biomed, mechanical, environmental, and electrical, and learned how careers in this field contribute to the solving real-world problems. Thanks to the generosity of UMass Lowell, transportation was provided at no cost, and all participating students received application fee waivers regardless of their intended major. UMass Lowell continues to be a valued partner in helping Tewksbury students explore college and career pathways in STEM. For state graduation council updates, Governor Maura Healey created a statewide K-12 graduation council to recommend a new vision for statewide graduation requirements and setting high school graduates up for success. After months of stakeholder engagement, research, and discussion, the council has arrived at a series of initial draft recommendations. They include, under learning experiences, the alignment of MassCore. The recommendation is to align required coursework with four-year college admissions requirements through a modified MassCore program. Key considerations include providing flexibility in student schedules, accommodating different student populations, integrating with Chapter 70 in early college programs and building capacity for implementation support. Under mastery, the council has recommended 2 areas. End of course assessments. Students would take state-designed, administered, and scored end of course assessments to ensure uniform standards statewide. Considerations involve selecting which courses will have these assessments, defining their role in graduation requirements, establishing accommodations, and understanding their impact on the overall assessment system. Also, the inclusion of capstone or portfolios. Students would complete state-defined but locally designed capstones and portfolios for authentic demonstration of mastery. Key considerations are establishing consistent standards across the district, ensuring equitable access, and determining their role in graduation. Under college, career, and civic readiness, the state is looking at 3 recommendations. First is the students would develop and maintain a career and academic plan using MyCap. Considerations focus on ensuring consistent processes, supporting diverse student pathways, and monitoring implementation. The second is that students would complete financial aid applications with an opt-out option for FAFSA. Considerations include creating an accessible opt-out process, supporting the implementation, and promoting equity. And finally, Mrs. Garabedian, financial literacy. Students would develop financial literacy knowledge and skills. Considerations involved establishing delivery mechanisms, supporting implementation, and maintaining updated resource. Along with these recommendations, they are considering providing optional seals of distinction. Students could earn state seals recognizing various achievements. Considerations include defining qualifying accomplishments, developing tracking processes, and ensuring equitable access to earning opportunities. So all of those are currently being discussed at the state level for the graduation determinations. And while these recommendations from the Graduation Council, we do have some wonderful connections already happening in the district to build upon. So first, a reminder is that we have our annual Seal of Biliteracy letter, which was included in our September newsletter to families. The Seal of Biliteracy in Massachusetts is a state recognition program that acknowledges high school students who have demonstrated proficiency in English and at least one other world language by the time they graduate. Tewksbury has been proudly participating in the Seal of Biliteracy since 2018. The seal provides nationally recognized evidence to universities and businesses, assuring students' skills are being fully literate in 2 or more languages. It's an asset to our students, which they can highlight in both college and job applications. And students should check with their high school guidance counselors for the exact requirements and application processes within our district. Also, the Credit for Life Personal Financial Fair, which we held on Friday, October 31st during our half day. In preparation for this event, the junior class will attend an informational session in the auditorium on Wednesday, October 22nd to learn about and register for the fair. The fair is an educational event where high school students rotate through stations and businesses that discuss real-world financial decisions and responsibilities they'll face as adults. We're excited to have this fair run again this year, and we want to thank Mrs. Kelleher for organizing the event. Finally, in my last part of my update, the district is up and running with our professional development sessions this year. On September 29th, our faculty participated in a calibration session on the key tenets of common assessments before diving into building-based options and needs. Common assessments ensure that all students are evaluated using the same standards and criteria across different classrooms and schools, helping us triangulate our data stories. Our next early release day is on October 31st, and this marks the beginning of our first of our 2 days of our multi-part series. These opportunities are designed and presented by our amazing teaching staff. We have 13 fantastic opportunities for teachers across the district presented by each level. We are thankful for the dedication of our educators for providing the targeted, purposeful PD for their colleagues. Finally, we're in full swing for finalizing our November 4th professional development full day. We're balancing professional development opportunities for the district, schools, and smaller group needs, and we look forward to having the entire district together on November 4th. And that's all I have for my report tonight.
Great, thank you. Welcome. Questions or comments?
Just one question. When will we see the MCAS
Next month.
Next month, okay.
Yep.
And then I guess a follow-up comment, if we could just, I'm excited for that PD, one of two sessions where the teachers are providing the PD, so I'd love to hear how that goes and
Absolutely.
the feedback from that.
Maybe in November, too, we can give you a list of what all the topics.
Yeah, that'd
right,
be
for
great.
teachers and administrators are presenting.
Cool.
It's-
Very cool.
We just sent out the registration today, so we're making sure everything fills up and can functionally run.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Sorry, excuse me.
I just checked my calendar. I'm actually working the 31st. I was going to ask to see if I could come to the to the
No,
event.
we'll take some pictures for you.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear more about it. But I'm excited that that's coming back again this year. No, it's exciting. And again, the PD, I'm excited to hear about that too. So thank you for running that. And thank you to the teachers that have volunteered to share with their peers. So that's all great stuff. All right, looking forward to that. Okay, and that UMass Lowell, that's great. That for students that have visited, they are waiving the application fee.
They are.
So that's pretty great.
Yes.
I heard the lunch was good. That was the feedback I got, so. All
Memorable experience.
right. Mr. Libby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So a quick transportation update to begin with. So next week is National School Bus Safety Week. I guess this week was school lunch. Next week is the bus. My two favorite subjects in school, but so we're going to be doing our school bus evacuations mandated by the state twice a year. We'll do our first one next week. Schedule will be posted in the district newsletter at the end of the week. But we do front door evacuations one day, rear door evacuations the next day at each school, weather permitting. We have staff on hand to assist just in a supervisory role and try to let the driver and the students simulate what it would be like if they had to do an evacuation on a road by themselves. And we also do safety classroom instruction in coordination with that next week as well. So that'll be happening at all of the schools as mandated by law. We have to do that 5 times a year. Our driver shortage on the big yellow school buses continues. We're still struggling finding substitutes. The bus company has been pulling in charter drivers when they can, filling holes with their office personnel to kind of get drivers in seats, but it still continues to be a problem. We were able to, through consolidating routes and kind of rerouting, we have eliminated one bus in the fleet, and from 23 buses we were using down to 22, which in an effort to kind of help with that problem. Hasn't been too impactful on what we've seen with arrival times and the whole system getting from one school to the next and being at the right school at the right time for dismissal at the end of the day. So unless something drastic occurs, we probably don't anticipate bringing a bus back into the fleet during this year. Our contract is up for bid at the end of this year. We'll be putting out an RFP probably December, January timeframe. We do the buses and the vans typically together. We find generally you see a cost savings when you combine the two, having to do more with dispatching and housing of the buses and vehicles. So we'd likely keep that model in place for what we go out to bid with on our in-district vehicles. Our out-of-district transportation is also expiring this year. We've collaborated with Billerica and Chelmsford with that effort in the past. Anticipate doing that again. We do see some savings on some certain runs closer to school, closer to the Tewksbury area, where we're able to combine students between the two or sometimes three of the communities. But I expect we'll approach that in a similar fashion when we get to that time frame again. Our phone project is underway at the Dewing and the Heathbrook schools. Our staff, our in-house staff has been working sort of on the back end. Saw them pulling some cables and doing some wiring at the Heathbrook last week. And Steve told me that they were also doing the same type of work at the Dewing, getting things ready to be able to implement phone service in our classrooms at the Dewing and the Heathbrook, something we've been looking towards from a safety perspective, teacher principal communication perspective for quite a long time. Our guys have figured out a way to do that using our internet jacks in the rooms, and at a much more economical cost than the first time we got this quoted from an outside vendor. So that's going to be a real nice thing once that's completed for those schools. We are in pretty much the same position we were a month ago on LG1. There's been a few minor things done in a couple of the bathrooms on the upper floors, but we're still waiting on carpet for that main room. Once that's in, once we get the product in, Mr. Marchand tells me it'll be, a weekend they can bang out the installation of the carpet, and that room will be fully up and running. I know it's been being used on a limited basis, but the final end to that project will be when that carpet arrives and gets installed. And I think that is it for my updates. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay. For the committee?
I was wondering about LGN1, but you answered it, so.
I'm good.
No, just not a question, just more an acknowledgement, because I know a lot of people are struggling with the bus stuff. And I've seen other towns that are in the same position still, so it's not just a Tewksbury thing. I think,
Yeah.
a reminder to people that it's not just a Tewksbury thing.
Yeah.
Still a widespread shortage of drivers, widespread financial constraint. It's not just us. It's the transportation as a whole is kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some, attempts to make the licensing process a little easier and a little more streamlined, but that hasn't really gotten anywhere yet with the state. So until that happens, I mean, we're not looking to sacrifice safety by any means, but we want to make sure we can get bodies in seats. They have some recruits that have been doing the training piece, the driving piece with their folks, but they just need to get in with the registry people and get their exams done, and that's the wait right now.
Yeah, thank you.
It might be a little drastic, but any thought on surveying families to say, do you have any intention in potentially not using the bus at all for the rest of the year? And then, almost saying we can remove you from the bus service. If you choose to come back, let us know. And how many of those people would be re-added? But you might have a high school student that is now driving and may never use the bus for the rest of the year and drives a sibling.
We sort of unofficially do that. We hear from the drivers, if they have stops that they haven't had a student, we remove those stops from the routes. There's a back and forth between us and the company. We do know, where we have capacity on buses to maybe switch some kids around. When we combine these routes because of necessity, when we don't have drivers, we learn some things.
Yeah.
Typically. So, it is a learning curve, but we do eliminate, they call them dead stops when we don't have students at a particular bus stop or at a particular house. So we are fine tuning to get as efficient as we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we could just, okay. All right, well, thank you for all your work that you're doing on that. I know it's not easy. And for the safety instruction, thank you for your work on that stuff. I know that's not easy. How is it going with the, or do you have any feedback with the assigned bus seating? Has that had any, has it been helpful or?
I think mixed reviews. Some of the more experienced staff have been a little reluctant to enforce that. They've kind of have their way of, and it's worked for them in the past. So they've been a little, they like to do it their way, and until we have issues, we're kind of, there were, let's say, bigger fish to fry of just making sure everybody got to school. And with all these changes that we were having, it was tough to do assigned seats because we were flipping kids onto buses, and the assigned seats kind of went out the window when we did that. So if things stabilize, I think that might be the time to revisit that as a district-wide, policy. I think we kind of dipped our toe in it this year, and some drivers have been doing it. I think the newer drivers are more comfortable with that. And I think it's been going pretty well on the buses that have been doing that.
I can add to that, Madam Chair, after talking with at least one of our bus drivers who's had the same route as Mr. Libby said, experience, same route, knows the families, has known the siblings. Her opinion was she didn't need to do that. She didn't have issues. We don't hear issues. But when we do have, sub-drivers or drivers that are new, it is really helpful because it's easy to identify the seat, who's in the seat, and some of the concerns and parent complaints we're getting are generally when they are our substitute or new drivers. Kids know. And they, I do think that relationship that they've built up with the bus driver they've had for a long time really helps with behavior. And siblings helping siblings. That can be helpful too.
Just curious. I felt like we were kind of hitting that 6 or so weeks into the school year. And then also, in terms of the RFP and contracts, are you in contact with any other districts, or do you know of other contracts that people are getting into? Are people having any difficulties with new contracts?
No, not hearing any particular, like, not getting any bidders. That hasn't seemed to be the case. And we are seeing more smaller companies come into the van, special ed world, provide more options in that area. I don't know if any are in a position to take on a large scale bid like we'll be putting out. But it's good that we do have some other alternatives available when we have a new route crop up, or things don't go well with the contractor that we have the contract with. We can find some other options now. And so far, we've had pretty good luck with the new vendors that we've that we've tried.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. And good luck. Let's hope that being a bus driver is like the new career path for people, because we need some more bus drivers, right?
And van drivers, we're seeing some mom and pop, pop-ups.
All right, thank you. So correspondence and informational topics, I guess we didn't have anything in there, right?
Nope.
That was nothing on
Firing
the agenda.
letters and the donation.
And then for the consent agenda, was there anything else we needed to cover? We had a lot of personnel items there this month, and then the donations that we already covered. Any questions or comments on that stuff there? There was one thing to add regarding the donations. There was a question about whether those donations had been voted on or covered in the past. And Mrs. Caliendo did reach out to the robotics for us on behalf, just to clarify whether they had been voted on or not in the past. We're not 100% sure. So to be clear, we put it back in since the funds were recently received. So
check.
yeah, so to be sure, let's just vote on them. If it's a second vote, it's a second vote. But just to do it right. And thank you to Victor and Pink for all of his information, because he's a wealth of knowledge in terms of helping us clarify some of this stuff. So,
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
okay.
I'll second.
Okay, and for a roll call vote, how do you vote? Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Anderson?
Aye.
Bijan Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well for a unanimous vote for the consent agenda. Thank you. And for school committee matters of member reports, we start with the Tewksbury CPAC.
Yeah, so the CPAC is meeting tomorrow for their standard monthly business meeting. That meeting is at the Tewksbury Memorial High School at 7 p.m. They had a coffee chat today, so I'm looking forward to hearing how that went. There were a number of people who have responded that they were going to attend that. It's really more of an informal kind of support check-in with parents. They've hosted those a couple times now, and they scatter them throughout the week, the time, so that different people can attend. Then they also have their caregiver support group, which is a Zoom meeting that takes place at 7 p.m. on 10/21. Plan to discuss with them tomorrow their involvement with Halloween and whether or not they'll have a table set up there. So we will discuss that tomorrow. Anything else?
No.
That was it for now.
Okay, great.
Madam Chair, if I can add, we have a scheduled leadership CPAC meeting. My apologies for not putting in my update on October 30th.
Great. Okay. For Wellness Advisory Committee, any updates there?
Sure. We were not able to attend the meeting this past month. However, I did meet up with Mrs. Constantino to get an update on where they are. So they have started the planning of their wellness event for the community that they're planning to hold in March. There will definitely be more information coming out as that gets closer, but they're lining up some vendors to come in to support that event. They also are working on public service announcements monthly coming out. October, they're looking at bully prevention and dental hygiene. They're considering some things for November. December, Toys for Tots, Acts of Kindness. So they've got different topics every month that they want to cover, and they'll send out either a flyer or hang flyers around the schools to support the discussions for those topics. And that is all that I had for an update.
Thank you. And were there any questions from anybody for CPAC? Sorry, I didn't circle back on that. Okay, thank you. And thank you for the wellness. I love the fact that they've got an event planned. I'm excited about that. And then School Facilities Study Committee, seeing Mr. Cutlass isn't here. We do have a meeting tomorrow night. We don't really have any updates. We can wait until after our meeting tomorrow night to update on that, unless you had anything to add, Mrs. Chadwick?
Today was the deadline for the RFPs for consultants for our facility assessment, so looking forward to finding out who applied, and we should learn more about that tomorrow at the meeting.
Ah, that's a good update, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, and then Policy Subcommittee, Mr. Moncada, did you have anything to add there?
Only that we met, and we have now kind of nailed down some regular meeting dates, which we kind of were willy-nilly before, so now we'll be meeting once a month for sure after our meetings, our regular meeting. So at least we've nailed that down, so.
We did. So yeah, there's some solid organization there, which is pretty exciting. So if anybody has any policy need or concern or something, you know, I know you've mentioned one already, Mrs. Biagioni Smith, which is a massive policy. But other than that one, anything else, just bring it forward. And now that there's kind of a system, it should be a little bit easier for us to tackle. So clearly bring it forward. Any questions or comments on policy? All right, and policy changes, proposal and adoptions, we can move on there. The order's a little bit different, but I'm going to go as it's listed here on the agenda, if that's okay with you guys. The informational reading, Mrs. Biagioni?
No, when you get to that policy, I just have one potential edit that we left off
right.
of this
Okay.
informational one.
So I'll start with A, is that okay with you? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is back and forth here. So A, informational reading, reviewed and recommended to revise. So we have the introduction. This technically, we did reach out to MASC for some guidance on this. When we looked at the introduction, it was a little wonky. The introduction actually had the wrong zip code on it. So it looks like maybe back in the original days, maybe they had worked with somebody else on it. So we updated that. And then it was kept as a book, and that was pretty standard. We clarified that it doesn't need to be an actual manual in paper. That was really up to us. So we now have, you know, all these digital copies of things. So we kind of cleaned up the language. We don't technically have to vote on it if there's not a lot of deliberation, but there's significant amount of changes here, so we brought it forward for kind of a formal vote. So that's informational reading, if you have any questions on that. Then there's the volunteer coaches. And Mrs. Terry Regan?
I just want to add, right above the strikeout, where it says, a volunteer coach must comply with existing policies of the Tewksbury School Committee and procedures of the Tewksbury Public Schools, including a Cori check, and it should say, and fingerprinting. It is the procedure we're currently using, and I think we just missed adding that.
So for next month,
Yeah, we'll edit that.
yeah, for the first reading, we'll add fingerprinting. Questions or comments? So questions or comments on the informational readings of those two? No. Then next, our first reading, which we'll have this come back one more month and ask for a vote on these next month, is the homeless students enrollments, rights, and services. We saw this last month. And then the competency determination, IKFE. And that one's back here again, and that'll be for, again, next week. Any questions or comments on either of those? And then C, this is recommended to adopt with no changes. This is the IKDC honor rolls, secondary grades. Any questions or comments there?
No.
So that, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to adopt with no change IKDC honor rolls secondary grades.
Second.
Okay, so that was a motion by Mrs. Biagioni Smith, second by Mr. Moncada. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. And then under old business, we have some school committee ethics and protocols. We had an opportunity to look at this last month, and this had been revised and kind of modernized. Same concept, same topics that was in our ethics and protocols in the past, but the wording and kind of the structure of it was a little antiquated. So thank you, Mrs. Biagioni Smith, for updating this. Any questions or comments on this from anybody?
No.
Okay.
No.
happy to entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the school committee ethics and protocols as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and that was a motion by Mrs. Beatrice Smith, second by Mr. Moncada. I didn't say that out loud. And new business, we have the FY27 budget timeline process. Okay, so Mr. Liddy, you want to give a quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, we're barely into this year, but we have to start the budget process for next year very soon. So we typically put this document together with the timeline that shows the steps we'll take throughout the year. I'll briefly go through the document. You know, our budget consists of salary, operating, capital outlay, and fixed costs. Most of our budget is tied up in salary, 70%. That's where we focus a lot of our time at the beginning of the process, working with principals, department heads on their personnel needs for the upcoming year as they see them. We'll assess those with our principals and department heads starting in probably mid-November into December. We work with our town manager in early November to start establishing what our overall baseline budget will be. That's based on revenue projections that the town comes up with. And we get a portion of that generally year over year. We start with a baseline of what we had this year, and then that gets added to, and we work from there with the town manager on our needs for next year. Big day on January 16th is a deadline per the town bylaws that we need to provide the town manager with preliminary budget numbers for our salary, operating, and capital outlay, and detailed information to back up those figures to the town manager and the finance committee, and copies to the select board. We'll start our budget workshops at the end of the month in January. These are public hearings held either before typical school committee meeting, or I believe one is held separately and strictly a budget workshop, where we discuss the ongoing needs of the district. I think you'll notice throughout the course of the document, I add in the language, assess district needs and resources to adjust budget accordingly. We do that constantly. This is a process. It's never really a finished product. We change our budget right up until we hit the town meeting floor. We know those needs are going to change school to school, year to year, and we do our best to stay on top of things that are going to impact the budget greatly. Look for potential grant accounts, revolving accounts, other funding sources that we could use appropriately throughout this whole process as well. When we get to April, the school committee, there's a school committee vote at the school committee meeting in April to approve the budget that's on the table at that time that will be included at the May town meeting. And then the budget that we present at that time becomes part of the overall school budget, the overall town budget, which is approved on the town meeting floor by the residents. And that is the final step that actually allocates money to the school department for the upcoming school year. you've seen, we've had budget transfers this year. We'll have another probably one or two before the year's over as our needs change within the current year. We like to kind of realign the budget to where our actual spending is happening. And sometimes that varies within the course of the year, and we make budget transfers to adjust to those needs as well. But that's pretty much the budget timeline where we're at right now, and right at the starting gate, and we'll be going from now until May.
Thank you. The heads up and nice schedule. Any questions or comments?
No.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Next, moving on to new school committee matters of interest. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add?
There was one thing that I don't think anybody mentioned, the L potluck. Did anyone mention that? Did I?
I didn't. No, I forgot.
Oh, yeah, so that.
Thank you.
I was like thinking about it and my mouth was watering.
I know. Thank you.
It's the best event.
Yes.
So that's Thursday, October 23rd from 5:30 to 7 here at the Center Elementary School. It is truly one of my favorite events that is hosted by our staff. So
Yes. Thank you.
yeah, looking forward to that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm good, thank you.
Ms. Mercado?
I'm all set. Thank you.
There was a couple things I wanted to say. I wasn't sure if I was going to say this at the beginning of the meeting, but I think I didn't want to overshadow, having the recognitions that we did and presentations, so I kind of held it for our matters of interest, so I'll share it now. But I wanted to acknowledge the letter that was sent this last week on behalf of the committee that I had sent out in response to the union activity regarding the superintendent. If anybody's interested in reading the letter, it's posted to our website. And thank you, Mrs. Caliendo, for doing that for us. The school committee, I just wanted to be sure to say that the school committee is committed to the collaboration for optimal working relationships with all parties that we are involved with. And that includes all of our unions. We fully support our superintendent and our teachers. Our primary focus remains ensuring the success of every student. The school committee remains engaged in all collaborative efforts. We have hopes to achieving optimal working relationships at all times with all of our unions. And we're in full support of our superintendent. We're fully in support of doing what's needed for our teachers. We're committed to collaborative efforts with the TTA leadership on behalf of what is best to support teachers. And our primary focus is always on students, thinking first about what is needed for students to be successful. Please be reminded, while we may not always engage publicly about everything, please understand that our lack of response is a matter of professional policy. It's not an indication of agreement with outstanding claims, and we will continue to use our clear established communication channels with the community and invite any community member with concerns or questions to contact us directly. I don't really have a lot more to say, but I just wanted to make sure that I did say something publicly. At this time, I would open this to the committee if you have anything to say, anything you want to add.
I don't.
No, I'm good, thank you.
I thought what you said, and the fact that we've had a number of opportunities for community members in general to reach out to us, whether through our traditional email channels or the open chat sessions that we've had, not just this year, but even last year, and would continue to welcome engaged community members to come and talk to us if they feel they want to express themselves in some way, because we don't always see what we don't see.
Right.
So
Okay, thank you. And Mrs. Terry Regan, if there's anything that you'd like to share.
I think what really hits home for me, Madam Chair, thank you, but is that our primary focus is on our students and our families and supporting all our staff to make that primary focus successful as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Milligan, too, for the work that you're doing to ensure the success for students.
thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Libby as well. Okay, that's it for my matters of interest. Future school committee meeting dates, we have November 19th, 2025. Future subcommittee and advisory committee meeting dates, we have the CPAC business meeting we talked about October 16th, wellness December 3rd, policy subcommittee October 28th, and the school facility meeting is tomorrow. Future agenda items?
It's not on here, but I believe we have a listening session on the 20th. At least it was tentative for the 20th.
It was tentative? Well, let's see, yeah, we'll see if we can get that together. Okay.
October 20th or November 20th?
October 20th.
This is at the townwide PAC meeting too, I think, so maybe it's not the best.
Townwide pack.
Yeah.
You're welcome to.
We do have one on
them
November
together.
20th.
Yeah.
On November 20th, I think.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
No, yeah, no, I think this
I
thought it was the
one had
10th,
offered
October.
He had offered one in October, so, Mr. McCullough, let's talk about what works for you and where, and let's get one together.
Sure.
Thank you. Future agenda items.
I don't have anything at this time.
I'm good.
Nope, I would have added Alphabest, but thank you, Mrs. Terry Regan, for adding it in your updates. And executive session, that would be next. So at this time, unless anybody has anything else to add for the meeting, I will entertain a motion to enter into executive session. This is a non-public session to discuss the approval of executive session minutes, collective bargaining pertaining to the TTA bargaining unit, and the school committee will not reconvene in open session after the executive session adjourns.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and we have a first and a second. Roll call, Mr. Moncada, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Anderson?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagioni-Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well, for a unanimous vote at 7:24 PM.